You have electric fence and everything in our houses. We have all those things.
Hold on. Me, I see everything. What is that, Chico? What is wrong with your hand? You know how I feel about Chico Twala. I know you guys are waiting for me to react to this interview. You know what? I want to deal with black excellence over there, okay? The Black Mamba has unleashed his venom in the Mzansi trial. This family matter. Somebody tell me. Why is he getting all this media attention? Why? Why is this not a family matter over there by the Gogos and the Mkulus for the Twala family? Why is this a big deal? Okay. I finally got an answer to one of my questions though, so I appreciate our national influencer, okay? Our national original OG influencer, Chico Twala of the 80s, okay? First of all, when is he ever going to take a cap off? That's my first question, okay? Secondly, what is wrong with your hand? Did you put your hands on them boys? Did you touch the boys? Did you touch the boys, Chico Twala? But you know what? I have another question. Wait a minute. Longwe Twala is 39 years old? And you are only dealing with him now? From the time he was 18, you are only finally having him arrested now? You could have saved the national goalkeeper, but you know what? I digress. Let me just hear some of the stuff you said, because I want to go to the Mzansi trial over there and talk about the black excellence that was on full display. MNISI, okay, advocate MNISI Wemvula, who Nxumalo, okay, Zithulele Nxumalo, and oh my God, Umlungu Wetu, Dave, okay, putting Chris Mangena, ballistics expert, on check. Because checkmate is coming through. Let's listen in a bit. I'll do a separate video on this family intervention, Donnies, whatever's going on over there. It's just that, you know what? I think he should just open up a TikTok channel, okay? Open up a YouTube channel. If you want me to help you do it, let me know. I'll do it for you. You know what? I could actually do it for him and then sell it to him. What do you guys think? Because Chico Twala is... the main character syndrome is overwhelming. This guy loves attention. What? Why are you giving... you know what? I've given him too much attention. Let's go to where? The High Court.
Protecting ourselves from criminals. Now, you have all these things and the criminals are right inside your house. And it's your kids. My son has been to rehab more than 30 times. I did everything. And he's my son, like I'm saying that, you know, I've tried to educate him about the good life. I tried to educate him on how to be to be a role model to our society and all that. But he never wanted to change. So like I said, that he started when he was 18 years old. And then today it is still, more than 22 years. I've seen people having those issues and then they come back to their senses and they stop. But with him, nothing has actually changed. He always lies. He's lying every single day. He's lying. No, I've stopped going back and all that. So I think... I've reached a point that, you know what, enough is enough. I'd rather see him serving time in prison than see him suffer in the streets.
Lieutenant Colonel, the exhibit, that is exhibit 2, is before court now.
Firearm?
Yes.
That's correct.
Is that the exhibit 2 that warrant officer Nurovse did test?
That's correct.
Is that the exhibit that you received on Monday, the 20th of July, 2020?
That's correct.
At Cleveland Police Station. Warrant officer, can you give the description of that firearm?
Description of it?
Yes.
As I wrote it here, it's a 9mm parabellum. CZ model 75.
The words, Lieutenant Colonel, the 9mm parabellum caliber CZ model 75. Where did you get those words?
Where did I get the word?
Yes. You said you received a 9mm parabellum CZ75. So where did you get those words? That it was a CZ75.
It's the name of the firearm and the model of it.
Is it correct, Lieutenant Colonel, that you told this court that the serial number of the firearm was obliterated, meaning it was filed off?
That's correct, man.
Is the description of the firearm the 9mm parabellum model CZ75 engraved on the barrel of the firearm?
Say is this model, name and model, or the serial number?
The name and model.
Is it written on the slide?
Yes.
Normally it's written on the slide. CZ
Yes.
model, CZ model 75 years.
Okay, can you read for the record?
It's written on the slide CZ 75.
Are those the only words that are appearing there?
Must I read everything that's written on the slide?
Yes, please.
It says CZ 75 Carl Luga.
Can I also have a look?
You know what? I love this so much for the defense team. I love that they have Umlungu right there saying, ask for it. Ask to see it yourself and look at it yourself. Familiarize yourself with the weapon. Know what is written. I mean, Nxumalo came up with what's written on the slider. And Mangena's like, what do you mean the slider? Because, you know, he's not used to speaking his ballistic terminology with laymen, if you know what I mean. He's used to like, wait, what does this guy know? How far can I go? And he reads partially. You'll hear shortly that he reads partially. He doesn't read all of it because I believe Mangena was hesitant, nervous. He wasn't sure where this was going. And remember, him and the ballistic expert, Dave Umlungu, okay, they know the situationship, okay? We don't know what has happened between them in the past. We do know they worked on the same case in the DRC in the Congo. And then they reached the same conclusions, but Mangena seems to want to say Umlungu read my file, so he followed my report. And Umlungu is like, you have got to be kidding me. I reached that assessment on my own, okay? But let's continue listening on. This is them, okay? Nxumalo and MNISI looking through the gun, okay? Looking at the gun, rather. Looking at the firearm, And they're reading it, okay? They're looking at every nook and cranny. If only they could have a microscope as well. I'm sure they could have even requested for the microscope, okay? So they can see the grooves and the striations. The things we have learned with the Senzo Mayua trial. But let me keep this short because this is going to be a long video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to like. Go ahead and like right now because we're now part of the 40,000 subscriber strong gang. So please, let's do the things to show the channel some love.
I also see, Lieutenant Colonel, that there are words engraved that it is made in Czech Republic.
It's made in Czech Republic, and it's the CZ stands for Seska Zebriovka.
Zebrioka.
And made in Czech Republic is written on the frame, not on the slide.
Oh. On Exhibit 1 of the record, which is the copy of the SAP 13 register, which was completed by Warrant Officer Masondo. On the 10th of February 2015, he documented the following at 3.1. 1 times 9mm black pistol, Czech Republic, CZ 75 Carl Luga. That is on the copy of the SAP 13 register. Serial number 5 off. So the question is, the firearm that you received, Lieutenant Colonel, on the 20th of July 2020, is it the same firearm that Warrant Officer Masondo entered in the SAP 13 register as the Exhibit 1 of the record?
It's the same pistol, my lord.
It is a 9mm. Does it eject cartridges?
That's correct, my lord. It's a pistol. For every shot you fire, eject the fired cartridge and load another one into the chamber.
Yeah, boy.
It's semi-automatic.
To which side does it eject empty cartridges?
It ejects to the right hand side.
It is your evidence, Lieutenant Colonel, that at the scene you could not find any empty cartridges. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord. Cartridge cases were not found at the scene.
One of the scenarios, or two of the scenarios that you gave, Lieutenant Colonel, is that it could be that when the shot was fired, as there was a struggle over the firearm, so it could not eject cartridges. So the empty cartridge would be launched in the chamber. of the firearm. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord. When a shot is fired, as I have explained, every single shot fired, the slide moves back to eject the fired cartridges. So for every shot, there will be this movement. So in the instance where a shot is fired, someone is holding the firearm, it disturbs the cycling of this. So the fired cartridges will not be ejected, will stuck inside the chamber of the firearm.
The second scenario that you gave is that the empty cartridges will be tagged in the clothing of the persons who are nearby the scene when the shots are fired.
That's also a possibility, madam.
You also testified, Lieutenant Colonel, that from the physical evidence at the crime scene, the first shot was the one that was fired 90 degrees to the floor.
That's correct, madam.
Is it correct that based on what you have been saying, that when that shot is fired, the 9mm pistol, that is the exhibit, it will eject cartridges and the possibility of cartridges falling onto the floor cannot be ruled out? You confirm that?
That's correct, madam.
So the possibility of the scene being contaminated, can you rule it out in the sense that somebody may interfere with the scene and take that empty cartridge which is on the floor in the kitchen?
I cannot rule out that possibility, madam.
I don't know how Nxumalo did it, but he got, Lieutenant Colonel Mangena to admit or to confirm that yes, there is a possibility that the crime scene was contaminated and somebody took the cartridge. Did you guys hear that? Did you catch it? Let me say it once again. He asked him, since it was a 90-degree shot to the ground, right? We agreed it was a 90-degree shot to the ground, therefore the cartridge fell to the ground. Per your theory, Mangena. Mangena says, yes, that's right. And then Nxumalo says, therefore, the cartridge was, the scene was contaminated and somebody took that cartridge. And Mangena says, yes. Yes, I can't rule out that possibility. Oh my God, it gets more intense. Let's keep going.
What is a high-velocity firearm, Lieutenant Colonel?
If you regard the rifles as high velocity, you're looking at the speed of your bullets. With a pistol like this, the velocity will be between 350 and 380 meters per second. And comparing to the rifles will be around 700 to 900 meters, or more than 900 meters per second.
I referred you to the training that you received from the Forensic Science Laboratory. Part of the training that you receive is the wounding effect that the bullet has on the tissue, the effect that the bullet has on the target, and the effect that the target has on the bullet.
That's correct, Malo. That's part of terminal ballistics.
Part of my cross-examination, Lieutenant Colonel, I will ask you to be of assistance. The first question that I want to canvass from you is, how does the bullet hitting the door affect the door's integrity? When the bullet hit the door, how does it affect the integrity of the door?
I don't understand the question.
With regards to the damage, will be damage on the door? Yes.
I'll be referring to a direct shot to the door.
Okay.
I need clarity there so that I can explain.
When
you say the bullet hitting the door, I will say when shooting direct to the door.
Yes.
If the door is closed, you're hitting a door at an angle of around 90 degrees. There's a possibility that your bullet will exit at the side. In instances where you are shooting at the door at an angle, there's a possibility that your bullet will deflect. It won't exit on the outside.
So in this case, you told this court that the shot was fired at an angle. Is that the physical evidence that you have, that the shot was fired at an angle?
And the bullet perforated the deceased body and then it hit the door at an angle. It was not at a 90 degrees, but it was at an angle. So it deflected towards the back of the door.
From where the deceased was standing, you said the door was slightly open. So how far was the deceased standing from the door?
And as I said, it hit the deceased on the chest, exited at the back in a downward trajectory. Now, if the deceased back was against the door, then I would expect the exit would end damage on the door be more or less on the same measurement. But if you look at the measurement, there's a difference of around 6 centimeters. Now that's 6 centimeters. What will happen is it creates a space between the door and the deceased. So there will be a distance of more or less a meter or so, where your bullet has traveled downward for 6 centimeters before it hits the door.
You said the velocity of that, the speed at which the bullet travels once it exits the barrel of the firearm. What is the speed of that firearm?
So I can't hear the
The
question.
speed. What is the speed of that firearm?
Eh,
Or of the
Mike,
bullet once it exits the barrel of the firearm? What is the speed?
My lord, the muzzle velocity of 9 millimeter is between 350 and 380 meters per second.
The damage that you found at the door on the 27th of October 2014, you also said that you took photos. Amongst the photos that were shown to you is photo 12 of exhibit X13A. How would you describe that damage at the door?
My lord, the damage is of an unstable bullet at an angle. But when a shot is fired, the bullet leaves the barrel. It's in a spinning motion. When it comes out, it's in spinning motion. But once it hits a target, it hits an object, it stops spinning, it starts tumbling. So when you say the bullet was unstable, it means it could have been moving this way or it could have been moving this way. So when it hits the door, it was probably in its side or anyway, but it was not directly the nose.
On your observation on the 27th of October 2014, did you observe a hole at the door?
Yes, my lord, we took pictures of the damage on the door.
yebo ngayibona futhi ngaze ngathatha isithombe somonakalo owenzeka lapho emnyango.
Can we go to photo 12 of exhibit X13A? From that photo, that is photo 12 of exhibit X13A, where did you see the hole, Lieutenant Colonel?
Bullet hole.
Yes, the bullet hole.
There's your bullet hole.
What is it that is shown on, as I'm standing here, is on the left? Just opposite the damage which you refer to as the hole that you...
The hole is here. And are we referring to this? Or?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What transpired there is the bullet hit the door at an angle. So it did not go through because it's an angle. It deflects. It's like it's bouncing on the wall and deviating. So there, it's where it exited, pushing part of the wood, the splinters, these ones, pushing them from inside, outside. That's why now they are coming out. So it got between these splinters there, and it deflected from there, and pushed them from inside, outside.
I did not know Nxumalo was capable of this. Like, he is so explosive, eruptive. He is like a landmine, okay? You never know when you're going to hit it. And now all of a sudden they're talking doors. And then he says, where is the hole in the door? Pull up exhibit 12. Okay, pull up photo 12 of exhibit X13A. Where is the hole in the door? Damn! And Mangena is like, oh my God. And then he comes up with this whole gibberish that you heard him talk about, that the bullet hit the door at an angle, and then now it came out through this separate section, and then the splinters are being pushed in. What are you saying, sir? And did you see Mshololo? Keep your eyes on Mshololo, okay? Keep your eyes on Mshololo, because she's hilarious.
On the 26th of October 2014, Constable Musia visited the crime scene, and he gave the description of points in his photo album, which was ended in as Exhibit C of the record. He described point A2 as a bullet hole.
Point
A2 as a bullet hole. My colleague are going to assist you tonight.
Is it the same as?
Yes. In the description of photos, it described that damage at point A2 as a bullet hole. So it is the same photo depicting photo 12 of your photo album.
That's correct, man. That's the same.
On the 27th of October 2014, you told this court that you were called by Captain Bentley to attend the crime scene. Do you confirm that?
That's correct, man.
On exhibit L1, which is an affidavit of Captain Bentley, he says the following. In his affidavit, a decision was taken during the briefing that to investigate the scene as if no investigation was done. During the first walk through of the scene, Captain Masombuga indicated the place on the kitchen floor where a bullet point was discovered and collected by Constable Musia. He further indicated to me a bullet hole on the inside of the kitchen door. When you were there at the scene, Lieutenant Colonel, were you shown by Captain Bankley this bullet hole which was on the door?
That's correct, madam.
On the 17th of August 2023, when Constable Musia was cross-examined by my colleague, Mr. Ramsepede, he says the following at page 29 of the record of the 17th of August 2023. At line 13, and I quote, "I check on the floor where I noticed the bullet hole. I also checked the door as well, and I realized that the bullet did not exit the door, and I thought to myself, perhaps it had fallen between the layers of the door, but I did not find that bullet." Now on that point that you raised, that you looked at the hole, and you correct me if I'm wrong, to complete that for the record so that it can be recorded. You assume perhaps that the bullet went through and fell through it's indistinct, of the panels of the door, correct? Then the answer by Mr. Musia, that is correct. So, close quotation. So the question that I'm posing to you, Lieutenant Colonel, is that when you observe that damage, which you refer to as a hole, was there any indication that the bullet went through and it could have fallen between the panels of the door, from your observation?
No, my lord. It deflected on the door and then continued to travel.
You also told the Scott, Lieutenant Colonel, that you don't know this witness or this police officer, Motswedi. Is that what you told the Scott?
No, I don't know him.
His affidavit was read into the record and it was handed in and admitted as Exhibit L2 of the record. I'm not going to repeat what he says, but the crux of my question is that he says that on the 27th of October 2014 at about 9, he arrived at the scene where the ballistic expert, Captain Mangena, and the photographer, Warrant Officer Mhlahlo, who took scene photos. Captain Mangena took exhibit of spent cartridge that was found on the door frame.
To even listen further, is this what MNISI meant when he said, "Good luck with your career, all the best with your career"? Like, literally, this is literally a few hours later and Nxumalo has just burnt everything down to the ground. What is this?
You said you don't know this warrant. He's a warrant officer, or he was a warrant officer in the Southern Police Service.
My lord, I don't know this person, and by 9 o'clock I was not at the scene. I only received a call around 10, and I arrived at the scene after 11. And as I've mentioned earlier, that when we process the crime scene, we don't allow people or any police officers into the scene. It will be only myself and my team and Captain Bentley or Warrant Officer Mhlahlo and their team. No other members will be allowed in there.
On the 28th of October 2014, how did you learn about the postmortem examination which was going to be conducted on the body of the deceased?
Informed at the crime scene that the postmortem will be conducted the next day. Because normally if we attend the crime scene and there's somebody who died on the scene or deceased at the scene and the postmortem must be conducted, we will tell them to inform us so that we can attend the postmortem.
Who were the members who attended the postmortem on the 28th of October 2014?
I attended with my two old colleagues, and then Warrant Officer Mhlahlo attended with the crime scene management members. I can't recall who was there.
Did you meet the doctor on the 28th of October 2014?
That's correct, my lord. When the doctor came, I was there with him, and then when he conducted the postmortem, I was also standing there with him.
Did you introduce yourselves to the doctor?
Yes, we did, my lord.
Was that at the examination room or outside? before you entered the room where the postmortem was conducted?
I cannot recall whether we were outside or we were inside before the postmortem.
I'm laboring on this, Lieutenant Colonel, because of the information that appears on the postmortem report at page 6 of the postmortem report by Dr. Steenkamp. It says the following under additional observation at page 6 of the postmortem report. 1. The autopsy was attended by the investigating officer, Warrant Officer A.S. Motwedi from the Provincial Investigation Unit. Warrant Officer T.T. Mhlahlo from the Provincial Task Team. Captain Mangena from the Ballistics. Lieutenant Mahati from the Ballistics. And Warrant Officer Mpini from the Ballistics. So the two colleagues that you referred to that were with you when the postmortem was conducted on the 28th of October 2014, it was Lieutenant Mohati and Warrant Officer Ntini. Those were your colleagues. There was also Warrant Officer Mhlahlo from the Provincial Task Team.
That's correct.
And yourself.
That's correct.
Can you please repeat that question?
There was also Warrant Officer Mhlahlo and yourself. The name of Warrant Officer Motwedi is coming back again. You still say you don't know him?
I can't recall him. I don't know him. Maybe I know him when I see him, but I don't know the same name.
That must have taken a lot of reading, Zithulele, Nxumalo, because wow, you connected Motwedi to the postmortem report to catch Mangena in a lie. Okay. Mangena, where the cartridges at? Where are the cartridges that you took at the crime
On
scene?
the 28th of October 2014, when the postmortem was conducted, were there any exhibits that were handed over to you after the postmortem for further examination?
My lord, the deceased sustained one gunshot wound, the perforating gunshot wound, where it enters at the front, exit at the back. So there was no any other exhibit found on the body.
Were there any specimens that were taken on the deceased?
I'm not sure, my lord, possibly so. Maybe blood samples or something, but I do not collect those things and I don't work with those things, so I had no interest on those ones.
Yes. For the record, I'll refer to this paragraph by the doctor with regards to specimen which was retained. The doctor says type of specimen, blood and swab from the fingernails, examination DNA. Seal numbers, or the seal number was 13D2AC4519, and evidence bag serial number PA400 181121. It was handed to SFOE Mokwena. You don't know about this?
No, I don't know.
In your evidence in chief, Lieutenant Colonel, on the 30th of August 2023, you told this court that you visited the accused persons, that is Mr. Sibiya, Ndanzi, Nube, Mapisa, and Duli, at various detention centers. Do you confirm that?
That's correct, my lord. It was on different dates.
You testified that these persons were persons of interest in this case.
That's correct, my lord. I was informed by Brigadier that these are the persons of interest.
By the persons of interest, what does that mean?
By person of interest, it might be the people that he's looking at as possible people who can be the suspects in the case.
Amongst the visit that you did was on the 30th of June 2020, where you visited Mr. Mnube. Do you confirm that?
June 2020.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You also told this court that at the time of the visits, you were taking notes.
No, my lord, I was not taking notes, I was taking measurements.
So there were no notes that you made after taking measurements.
No,
Cha,
So you did not write anywhere, maybe in your diary, about the
azange ubhale
visits.
ndawo mhlambe
I took measurements. I only wrote the measurements of the height, shoulder height, elbow height, and the length.
Where were you documenting your findings?
Which findings?
The measurements.
I only took the measurements and I wrote them on I had a notebook that I was writing.
ngangi
You did not make a statement, an affidavit.
No, man.
On the 30th of August 2023, Lieutenant Colonel, that is your evidence. At page 54 of the record, it says the following, and I quote. At page 54 of the proceedings of the 30th of August 2023, 54, 54.
Yep.
It says the following: the scars I see on the legs will be from his childhood. And from there, my Lord, I did not tell him what I was looking for, but from what he told me, I realized that this might be the person. It's indistinct because how did he know that I was looking for scars on him? So it is what he told you, that the scars I see on his leg would be from his childhood. It is what
kusho ukuthi kona
It's
impilo
what-
kakutshela kona ukuthi lezi
That's what he told me, that if you see a scars on my leg, it will be from my childhood.
Did you also document this on your notebook?
No, I didn't document that.
How do you recall this, that he told you this?
That's what he said when I was there.
No,
So I
you
heard
go-
him saying that.
I mean, from the date of the visit on the 6th of June 2020 up to the date when you testified on the 30th of August 2023, some 3 years later, you still recall what he told you.
That's correct, man.
From the date of the incident on the 26th of October 2014, you still expected to see the injuries on the legs.
My Lord, I was not looking for the injuries. I was looking for scars.
You still expected to see them, to see the scars. Some,
The scars will remain there, yes.
in respect of my client, you said you visited him at Louis Cop Correctional Services.
That's correct, my Lord.
I'm instructed by Mapisa, Mr. Mapisa, that it is correct that you did visit him on the 6th of July 2020 at Louis Cop Prison. You said you did the same process, or you embark on the same process as you did with the rest.
The same process that I did with accused number 3.
He agrees that you did take his height, his shoulder, and his elbow. And you asked him to take his shoes and socks. That was on the 6th of July 2020, and you did not find anything.
That's correct, my Lord.
He instructs me that, and I must put it to you, that he was not at the crime scene on the 26th of October 2014. That is the crime scene at house number 13511, Utwanong Street. At the times that it is said the incident occurred.
I cannot comment on that.
He further instructs me that he is not a person of interest, or he was not a person of interest, and he has never been a person of interest in this case.
My Lord, I was not the investigating officer, and he was not a person of interest to me. Probably to the investigating officer, but not to me.
He further instructs me that the fact that you did not find any injuries or scars on his leg support his sentiment. What is your comment?
I cannot comment on that, man.
He has placed this on record not more than once. He instructs me that he knows accused number 1, Mr. Spear.
uthi ushilo ukuthi uyamazi ubaba uSibiya lo phambi kwenkantolo.
No comment, my Lord.
Cha akukho engakhami Paula alo.
My lord, may I take one instruction from my client, Mr. Marquez?
Yeah.
My lord, just 1 minute. May I approach my colleague, Advocate Nxumalo? Thank you. He further instructs me that he did not know Mr. Nxumalo before court. He first met Mr. Nxumalo when they made their first appearance at Boksburg Magistrates Court.
Yaqhubeka ukuthi yena akamazi kwaMntanzi waqala umazi uma beyovela enkantolo yaseBoksburg inkantolo yemantshi
On the 27th of October 2020.
mhla 27 October 2020
2020.
ngo-2020
No comment.
hayi akukho ngaphawula ngalokho.
He instructs me that before the 26th of October 2014, he knew Mr. Mngube before court. He was his friend. He was his friend.
Uthi-ke ingakabi ufike lolu suku mhla 26 October 2014 wayemazi uMngube lo khona la enkantolo ngoba wayemngani wakhe.
I can't comment on that, man.
Angeke ngiphawule lutho ngalokho.
Lastly, he instructs me that before the 26th of October 2014, he knew Mr. Ntuli. Mr. Ntuli was his acquaintance.
Uthi-ke wayemazi noNtuli ngaphambi komhla 26 October 2014 kwakuwumuntu amazi.
I can't comment on that, man.
Angeke ngibe nengingaphawula ngalokho.
My lord, I request that we take an adjournment until tomorrow overnight.
What a day. Nxumalo said, I'm putting it all on the record, including my client's version. These are the instructions my client is telling me. He's telling me, you certainly did come measure him. You didn't find any scars, and therefore, why are you calling me a person of interest? I didn't understand when Nxumalo a few minutes ago had asked what to define what is a person of interest, but then he ties it back nice and neatly. Oh my God, that was just beautiful to see. Nxumalo is brilliant. You know what? Let's not make this video too long. I do not want to spoil the work that he has done. Black excellence on display right there at the Pretoria High Court. Remember to type brilliance down below. Brilliance down below. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on my next upload.